Here's an interesting fact, people. Did you ever know that the ancient Egyptians used to use honey to help heal wounds? Sounds crazy, right? Using honey to heal wounds? Like you use honey in your coffee, right? As a sweetener, but did you ever know that it was actually a property to heal wounds? Very true, people. This is not a lie. Egyptians used to use honey as well as linen and fat from animal fat to actually heal their wounds and also to cause a sealant for their dead when they put them in the tomb. Think about it. The honey has antibacterial components to it to help clean and to keep antibacterials out of wounds, similar to neosporin. This Egyptian practice eventually even spread to India. Now, nowadays, when you go to a hospital, you're less than likely to see somebody pulling out a jar of honey and putting it on that open wound, that gunshot, that cut, or anything else before giving stitches. What's an interesting fact, right? When you think about all these things the Egyptians did, you gotta wonder, did they create baking too? I mean, think about it. Did the clock, water systems, honey, cards, what didn't the Egyptians create or found before we did? But what we're talking about today, open wounds, we're talking about the mental wounds that we deal with. We can't put honey on those things, right? We can't put honey on those things, even though a lot of times you heard in your life someone say to you, it's better to catch bees with honey rather than smoke. What does that mean? Meaning that you're sweeter to people, then more likely you're going to get people to come on your side and to help you and to do more of what you need or want from them, rather than using smoke, which is another term for, some violence, maybe trying to provoke someone, threaten someone to do something. Point is, honey is an interesting component, but can it help us? Can it help us heal those wounds that we have deep inside of us? We're going to talk about some things, people. We're going to uncover some things. But most importantly, this episode right here is all about you. So I want you to listen carefully what we're going to talk about today, people. Let's talk about it. Open wounds. We all have different ones. Open wounds that we deal with our mental health, that we deal with deep inside, is so difficult to heal, come from multiple different factors. Some from maybe your husband or wife cheated on you. Someone died that was close to you. You lost your job, your house, your car. Your children's dealing with drug addiction, or maybe they OD'd. We all deal with different wounds, different trauma. We also all spoke about this trauma that we all experienced. Talked about how we can overcome trauma, the steps we need to take. But what about those wounds? What about the wounds that live deep inside you? How do we heal from those wounds? When we can drink a whole cup of honey, but it still doesn't cure it. Let's talk about it, people. Let's talk about how we heal from these wounds. We first have to understand what these wounds are. These wounds are created by situations, by people, by unforeseen circumstances of storms that come into our lives that we perceive as to cause damage, harm, hurt. It's everlasting. A lot of times people tell you how to heal your wounds. They give you misinformation that only further causes your wound to grow. Not only for your wound to grow, but cause you to create wounds for other people. Answer this question to me, people. Answer this question. Please, be honest. Be honest with me. You ever heard this? Time heals all wounds. Have you ever heard that expression? Has somebody said that to you? Think about it. You lost a relative, a close loved one. At the funeral, people embracing you, telling you they love you, hit you with these famous words. Time heals all wounds. You lose a child, you lose your job. You lose that husband of 20 years because he found somebody younger, more vibrant, he left you, leaving you with a wound. Then somebody come and embrace you and tell you, your best friend, relative, time heals all wounds. I can keep going on and on, but we don't need to do that. We understand, we all heard it. Under different circumstances, we heard time heals all wounds. Is it true though? No. Time doesn't heal all wounds, because if you think back to a broken clock, remember that episode, Broken Clock? Did we talk about it? How we need to fix our own watches instead of watching somebody else's? Think about this. There is no time limit on how long that wound, that wound that's inside you live. There's no time limit of when it's going to heal. So if you operate under the belief that there's a time limit on your grieving for a widow, a loved lost one, your child, a loss of a job or opportunity, then what's going to happen when you meet someone else who's dealing with an equally or lesser wound than you have? Not only are you going to come to them, you will say the same expression, time heals all wounds, but then you're going to expect them to heal equally as fast as you did, or even faster than you did, because you're going to say, hey, your wound ain't bad as mine. My wife or my husband cheated on me, they left me, they cut me deep. All you did was lose your job. Man, you should be over that in a week. That wound only take a week to heal, man. You all right, get over it. What does that mean? You lost your empathy. You lost empathy for the people who are sitting there hurt. You're creating that deeper wound because now you're creating, I hate this word, unrealistic. I hate that word, so I'm not going to use unrealistic. Unmanageable, unimaginable ways of healing that wound in an unimaginable time frame to heal from that wound. So what they're doing, they're thinking, okay, it'll take a week to heal from this wound, losing my job, but guess what? 2 weeks in passed, a month in passed, I still can't find another job. I'm still in depression. I done bought some black curtains for my last $10. I'm hiding in my room, hiding under the covers because I don't want the world to see me. And I'm afraid to express the fact that I'm feeling this way, that I'm hurting, I'm suffering inside, because you said that time heals all wounds, and based on your calculations, I should have been over this 3 weeks ago. So we got to think about what we're saying to people. We got to think about how we're expressing things. Isn't it crazy how some of the simplest terms that we use can have such a major effect on somebody's life? But how do we heal these wounds? Because you're talking about the wounds I'm experiencing, and you tell me I shouldn't say time heals all wounds, but what do I say to that person? How do I help that person who's dealing with these wounds? Who's dealing with these wounds and don't know how to heal from these inside wounds? Do I tell them go to a local grocery store, grab a bottle of honey, grab a cup of tea, pour that honey in it, mix it up, because that honey has antibacterial components in it that will help clean out them wounds and eventually help heal them? Maybe you should get some dressing, some fat from an animal, some linen, dress themselves. Maybe that heal the wound. Not likely, people. Not likely. But here's the things, and here's the steps we need to take to healing our wounds, because we all have experience and all are dealing with open wounds inside of our mentality right now. First thing we must do is we must give ourselves permission. Isn't that something we don't do often? We don't give ourselves permission. We give other people permission, but do we give ourselves permission? Do we give ourselves permission to actually grieve for that lost person, that lost loved one, that lost opportunity? Do we ever give ourselves truly the opportunity to grieve? Think about it. You lose a husband, wife, mother, child. You don't really have time to grieve. Once you lose them, you're running to try to make funeral arrangements. You go from trying to make the funeral arrangements, then you're sitting here trying to create other opportunities, trying to do other things, trying to get funeral arrangements, trying to get everything together, then you got to put them in the ground. Once you put them in the ground, you're dealing with family members and loved ones. You're dealing with them at their repast. You spend all this time trying to make sure everybody else is okay. Make sure you properly give your loved one a proper send-off. But you don't really take much time for you, do you? You don't take time to grieve. You don't give yourself an opportunity to truly feel that grief, to truly feel that pain. So what do? You do what we all do. We bury it. Along with our loved one, we bury that pain. We bury that hurt. We bury the betrayal. We bury it deep inside of our subconscious. Because if we don't see it, then it doesn't exist. We're being lying to ourselves. But by burying this, by lying to ourselves, we're doing this, we're denying ourselves permission to truly grieve for what happened. We don't grieve. We tell ourselves, I'm okay. And you practice smiling. Did I tell you about that? Practice smiling. Sometimes you gotta practice smiling at your job when your boss is pissing you off and you know you want to cuss them out, but then you just put on the fake smile. I'm okay, yeah. I want to put your goddamn son in the mouth. Set your car on fire, but yeah, I'm okay. You know, put that fake smile on. They tell you do a project when they got Becky across the street or Becky across the desk across from you, ain't did damn thing all day. But they give you more work, even though you took on more work. You're like, yeah, I practice smiling, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass one of these days. You watch, you lucky on these job, girl. I'm sorry. All right, that's off the point. But we do practice smiling. We do that a lot at funerals. We gotta practice smiling because the important thing is making everybody else believe that you're okay, but make sure they feel comfortable, even though you're not okay, even though you don't feel okay, even though there's pain brewing up inside you. You gotta practice smiling, and you do that at a funeral, and before you know it, times went past, and you never grieved. You never truly gave yourself the opportunity to heal. Think about this. Your husband cheats on you, he finds a younger woman, he decides to try to live his best life now. He got a new lease on life and bought a brand new red Corvette. He is there balling out like never before. He traveling, everything. Things he never did with you. Because he got this young girl now. Or maybe your wife. She has found a successful man who has more money than you and can take her on the trips and buy her all the things and spoil her like you never was able to. So she has left you after 20 years of marriage. Man, all the stuff I done been through. I had to smell your farts, let you eat off my plate and all this stuff. And now you want to leave me for this other guy? And you left with all this pain, hurt inside you. That's an open wound living inside you. But what do you do about that? Well, you're embarrassed, most likely. So, even though your friends come around you and ask you okay, you do the same thing you do at work. You put the fake smile on, yeah, I'm okay, yeah, give me more work. I just want to kick your ass. Wait till we go in that lunchroom. You lucky I don't handle your food. You better ever ask me to go eat your lunch. You put that fake smile on. But inside you hurting like hell. Because you can't turn off love, even though this person betrayed you. You mix with hurt, anger, but still loving and wanting this person who left you for somebody else. You're dealing with all the time that you gave up. You experience loss, but you're like, how do I heal from this? How do I heal from it? When I'm putting a fake smile on, my friends come around with a glass of wine. Yeah, let's talk. Let you know everything will be all right. And you talking about how bad he is, how he ain't shit. Never was. You see how his hairline was receding? You lucky he left, girl. He was losing his hair anyway. You lucky he left. He couldn't dress anyway. You see that suit, wear the same old suit every time you go somewhere. If he had to wear that jacket one more time to dinner with us, I'm sorry, girl. I was going to tell you about it. Or your boys take you out to a club. Take you out to a club, get a couple drinks, try to put you under something new. But never realizing the pain you're going through, and you put on a fake smile, so truthfully, you're not recognizing or giving yourself permission to grieve that lost relationship. Think about it, people. We all do it. Or we do something even worse. We jump into another relationship. Don't we do that? We hate being alone, so we jump into another relationship. Yeah, you just broke up with your girlfriend 2 days ago. But hey, somebody up in your DMs. This girl in your DMs, let me get with her because the best way to get over an old girl is to get a new one. Your boyfriend, y'all broke up, but guess what? This dude's up in your DMs, so the best way to get over your old dude is to get a new dude. But you're walking into that relationship with open wounds, hurt, pain. Because you didn't give yourself time to properly grieve. You didn't give yourself permission to grieve. But you also didn't give yourself permission to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable to your friends. You forgot an important component in the healing process. It's letting people know, I'm not okay. I need help. And people say, well, I don't like to say I need help because then people will think I'm weak. Well, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're a human being. It means that if I cut you, you bleed. If I scrape my knee, it bleeds. It means I hurt. It means I can put honey on my open wound, but I can't put it on my open heart. So sometimes to heal those wounds inside you, you need people who love you. Who's not coming here to tell you how your ex-husband ain't shit because he wore the same jacket or he got them shoes that's starting to lean when he walk. They ain't sitting here talking about how your wife weave used to be all messed up and her hair look all naughty when it go out. And the wig used to get cocked to the side until you got one too many drinks. You don't need that. You need them to just listen to you. Not tell you time heals all things, but tell you I'm always going to be here. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to confront your pain. Confront what you're feeling. It's okay to, because the only way you heal these inside wounds, these deep wounds inside you, is by actually confronting them. See, some of us we don't want to confront them, though. Our idea of confronting them is getting on social media and sitting here spreading all bad things about women. Ooh, we got to get our Twitter fingers working. Let people know how I really feel, because now I need to spread my wounds to other people. I need to let everybody know I'm hurting, but I got to hurt other people so I feel comfortable being hurt. You know how people don't like to drink alone, they don't like to smoke alone? They don't like to do nothing alone. People get high, they don't want to get high alone. They want other people around them because it makes it like they're normal and everything feel okay when we do it in group, because I got more people who are like me. So if I got more people hurting like me, then my pain feels okay. But the truth is, we ain't healing. We just sitting here hurting together. We all sitting here with open cuts with no band-aids. Just, hey, hanging out, blood everywhere. But you gotta let yourself heal. Instead of looking for people who are hurting just as bad as you, instead of being afraid to ask for help, we gotta confront our fears. I get it. Confrontation to our fears and what hurt us is the most scariest thing in the world. It's painful. Who wants to confront what caused them pain? Who wants to grieve it? I'll give you a personal experience. I spoke about this on the show before, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta speak about it again because some of you may never heard this story. Let me tell you something. My grown died, hard to confront. Very hard. I lied to myself for years. Wouldn't go to a grave site or anything. I never gave myself the proper time to grieve. Instead of grieving, I lied to myself. Oh, she still exists. I just haven't came to visit her. And you say it enough, you start to believe it. But then the lie became harder and harder to keep. And I realized I'm never going to heal from this pain I'm feeling until I confront it and give myself proper time to grieve from it. So what did I do? One day I got in my car alone, drove to the cemetery, went to my grown's grave, got down on both knees, and I cried my eyes out. Cried harder than I ever could. Didn't care who was around. Didn't care if I had the ugly cry. You know the ugly cry. We all had the ugly cry before. You got snot running down your nose. You look all crazy and stuff. You like wiping snot up your arm. You all had the ugly cry before, but I didn't care at the time because it wasn't about how I looked. It was about how I wanted to feel. And I knew I wanted this pain to go away. And that time wasn't going to heal this wound. It wasn't going to heal it. It wasn't until I gave myself proper time to grieve. It wasn't until I was truly honest with myself that I was going to heal from what I was feeling. And let me be honest with you people. I still think about my grandma. I still miss her. But that pain is gone now. Because I understood that doesn't hurt the person who's lying in that coffin. It hurts the people who are still living. And the reason it hurts the people still living is because we leave those open wounds uncovered, unhealed, or unattended to. It's the same as in relationships. You sitting there wondering why this dude that got the new Corvette, the new girlfriend, why is he sitting here living his best life, smiling all happy and joyful, drinking champagne? He's doing everything for the Instagram, doing everything for Facebook. He's sitting there posing for pictures. While I'm sitting in my house crying, hurting. You're healing. You're healing. And healing is an ugly thing. Think about it. Healing is an ugly thing. Think about when you scrape your knee or your elbow or you cut your hand or something. What happens? What happens as you go through the healing process? Don't you get that scab on your hand? Yes, we all get it. We all get that little scab on our hand stuff. It don't look pretty, do it? It don't go back to our original skin right away. We get that little scab on our hand, right? You try to cover that scab up because you don't want nobody to see a scab because it's a little hideous. Part of the healing process. But after the scab goes away, what happens? Then you go back to that regular skin, that clean looking skin, the skin that was on your hand. The skin brings itself back. But see, the same thing with the wounds that you feel inside. See, you're going through a healing process. See, when you're going through the pain, when you go through the grief, that scab is going to come. That ugly scab. And that scab is the one when you try to put the face on, you don't want nobody to see that scab. But you got to understand that scab is protecting you. The scab is the portion of you telling you, don't jump into a new relationship right now. Don't jump into a new situation right now. Give me more time so I can heal before you start doing the things that you did before. It's letting you know something. The scab is playing as your clock. It's never wrong. It's telling you, not yet. Don't jump in the pool yet. Not yet. Wait a few more minutes before you jump into that relationship. I know your boy's telling you, let's go back to the club. Craig and them calling you up like, come on, let's go to the club and let's go hang out. Let's drink some water, drink some beer, pop some bottles, go meet some women. But that scab is telling you, not yet. You need a little bit more healing because if you find that woman that you really dig at the bar, you find that woman that you really like, you can't give her all that you want to give her because you still got some healing to do. Your girls want to sit here and talk about your dude ain't crap until you go out and find a new dude, go on speed dates, go on a date. They want to set you up with some dude they know at work, but you're not quite ready yet. You got some more time to heal. You need to allow yourself time to heal. We all been in this process. We all been there. We all had our hearts broken. We all had these wounds, some by our parents, some by our loved ones, some by losing someone we love, some by our children. We all had these experiences. But we also have to be not afraid to open ourselves up and to seek help. This is so frowned upon, and I'm going to speak about it, so frowned upon, especially in the black community. This is so frowned upon. God forbid you actually tell somebody to do this. God forbid. Get help. Talk to a doctor, a psychiatrist, a counselor. Oh my gosh, you tell like this, like telling somebody to get a pistol and put it in their mouth or something. I mean, you should drink your problems away. But actually sitting down and talking to somebody, is that going to truly help me? Yeah. Yes, because it's not about them talking back to you. Sometimes confronting your issues and what your experience is just getting it out. Sometimes it's just about talking about it. Because see, when you talk about it, when it actually comes out your mouth, what you're feeling, you're releasing that toxic out of your body. You're releasing that bacteria out of your body. And you're not just releasing it to the air, you're releasing to a whole jar of honey that has antibacterial components in it. You're releasing it into that jar of honey. That jar of honey is going to kill those bacteria. It's not going to spread it out in the air where it spreads to other people. It's going to land in that jar of honey where it'll meet its demise. And the best part about it is you will be relieved from this pain that you're feeling, this hurt. You're going to walk out of there feeling so good, so much lighter because you release so much baggage that's on your shoulders, so much pain. Your heart's not going to hurt that much. When you reach another relationship, you enter another relationship, guess what? You're not going to go into this other relationship wondering, was this dude going to hurt me? Is he going to look at me like I'm getting older because my birthday coming up and I'm turning 50 or I'm turning 60 and think that I'm too old for him and he's on one young girl? Is this woman going to see my receding hairline and think to me like, ew, I don't want that because my friend's going to clown me? Or the fact that I only can afford these type of shoes so my shoes is leaning? No, she's going to see you for the man you truly are and appreciate who you are. That man's going to see you for the woman you truly are and appreciate who you are and what you are. Think about it, people. Going to get counseling, going to get help can span much further than your friends. We all want to talk to our friends. We all feel like the best idea is to talk to our friends, get around our friends, and it's important. But you also have to be important to when you go around your friends, go around people that have good vibes, good and positive energy. All of our friends ain't good. Some of our friends we cool, but it's only cool for us to go out and get a drink, hang out. But when it gets down to the real dark and nasty stuff, sort of like our problem stuff, let's be honest. Some of our friends just not equipped to help us with the healing process because they have some healing that got themselves. And be truthful, they ain't even start the healing process yet, so they don't know how to help you heal. So sometimes it's important that we got to move outside of our circle and to get some professional help to help heal some of the things we're experiencing. Sometimes we know people that haven't experienced the issues and pain we experience. So we need to learn to move outside of our community, outside of our friendship, outside of our group to find people who can help us truly start and begin the healing and grieving process. People, it's time that we finally let go of what we're feeling. Stop letting go of this trauma. Stop letting these things run our lives, given people who are temporary in our lives permanent effects on the direction of where we're going to go. Letting them leave a permanent stain or scar on our hearts. Let me tell you something, people. The people who truly mean something from you, the people who truly love you, the people who truly appreciate you will not leave a scar on your heart, but they'll leave a footprint on your heart. That's the sand that they walked on to let you know, I was here and I will always be here. Understand something. Any wound that you have can heal, but time doesn't heal all wounds. Sometimes time can cause more wounds, not just for you, but for other people. And who's to set the time limit on when you're supposed to heal? I'm sorry, people always say time heals all wounds, but what the hell's the time? So when you come back to people that say that, like, okay, so exactly how much time does it take for me to heal from what I'm experiencing? Because, I lost my job 3 weeks ago, and it's been about 6 weeks, and, I'm getting complaints from the mortgage company. They're like, yo, they need their money, or they're going to take my house. The car company told me they're going to take my car. Electric people told me they're going to cut off my electric. They already cut off my cable, so can you let me know exactly when is the time exactly that I'm supposed to heal from these wounds? And that's when you realize people don't even know what time. You know why they don't know what time it's going to take for you to heal from your wounds? Because they haven't healed from their own. So you have to be careful about who you're connecting with, who you're bonding with, who you're getting information from. You got to learn to filter information out. You got to learn to use that honey to heal, but learn to go out and get other components. I get it. Sometimes I'm sitting here talking about the ancient Egyptians used to use honey to heal as a healing property to heal wounds. You probably look at me like, this dude's crazy as hell. I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard a doctor say it, but just because you haven't heard don't mean it don't work. So me telling you to go outside your circle, outside your family, your loved ones, your mom, your dad, to actually get help, it may seem like, yo, that's crazy talk you're doing. You're crazy. I always can depend on my mom, my dad, but see, your mom and dad don't have all the answers. Your friend don't have all the answers. They don't always know what you're going through or how to help you heal from what you're going through because your mom, your dad, your best friend, your cousin, they haven't truly healed from everything, so they don't know. We sometimes have to go get extra help. Let me explain something to you, people. Let me just break it down to you. I only got a few more minutes, so let's make this quick. When last time you took your car, when you heard that rattle in your engine, driving down the street, you hear a little noise in your car? When last time you took your car to a hospital, trying to figure out what that noise is in your car? Answer that question. When last time you had a little ache and pain, found a little lump, that you took that ache and pain to lump to your local mechanic and asked them to figure out, yo, what's this lump I'm feeling in me? Why I got this little pain in my back or my ankle? So if you don't take a pain to your mechanic or take your car problems to your doctor, why the heck are you bringing the things and issues that you're experiencing in your life inside you, those wounds that have not healed, to people who have no experience or direction on how to heal them? Think about it, people. Just something to think about as you're talking to me right now. I ain't preaching to you. We just having a conversation. I'm just trying to talk to you. You'll be surprised at what components can actually heal you. You'll be actually surprised at what you can do to heal. But to start the healing process, you first have to learn to give yourself permission. You got to learn to give yourself permission. Let me explain something to you. Healing can be expensive, so you got to give yourself permission to spend. You got to give yourself permission to care about yourself, to pamper yourself, to learn to love yourself, to do things that you like to do, such as go on, if you're a woman, go and get your hair and nails done. If you're a dude, go and get you some sneakers, some new clothes. Replace those shoes starting to lean. Replace that wig that if you drink a little while too long, it starts getting a little cocked to the side. Let's get your hair cut, dudes. Invest in you and what's going to make you feel happy. Invest in your happiness. Invest financially, spiritually, and mentally in your peace and your recovery. Invest into finding a doctor that's going to help you heal from these wounds. The important thing we need to do, people, is understand just because we have wounds inside and because it's difficult for them to heal, and it's slower for them to heal, don't mean they can't be healed. So you have to do the work, people. So what I'm going to say to you before I end this with is, give yourself permission to grieve, to love yourself again, to appreciate, and to know you again. Give yourself permission, people. Permission is the word of the day. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Past to Present podcast. I'm Alan the Great. Hit me up on Facebook, Past Present. Instagram, Alan the Great. Comment, like, share. Let me know what you think of the episode. Let me know what you feel about the healing process. Have you healed? Share your testimony and stories of your healing process so others can heal. Be there for your loved ones and people who are experiencing things. Just because people put a fake smile on don't mean that they're okay. So if you know somebody that's not okay, please check on them. Show them they're not alone in dealing with this. And until next time I see you, people, I only got one thing left to say to you. Stay tuned. If you or someone you know are dealing with problems, depression, having trouble grieving from a lost loved one, you're experiencing issues that is beyond the scope of your friends and family helping you, there's help out there for you. Call this number, 1-800 273 TALK. Call this number right now to get the help. If you know someone who needs this help, you know someone who's grieving or experiencing some type of depression alone that needs help, call this number, 1-800-273-TALK, or text 741-741 and use MHA. You can get help. Help is in your reach. Please call today. If you know someone that needs help, don't leave them alone. Nobody should have to grieve or be depressed alone. Call this number, 1-800-273-TALK.